Hey, you guys. As always, everything without parole does is absolutely last minute and doesn't ever work. So let's see if this is working or not. Let's see what's going on here, guys. It's 4:38, so I'm a little bit late. Hopefully everything is working okay. How's everything look? Sound? I'm in the bottom corner, bottom over here, and we're doing this, guys. We're doing this. I don't. I don't really know. I don't know what to expect today, but I'm like super excited. Obviously, when Sony announced they weren't going to be at E3, when Sony announced they weren't doing the PlayStation experience, we were all like, "What the fuck? Like, did PlayStation brands run out of money? Did they put all their eggs into the PlayStation VR basket and ran out?" That's not what happened. Obviously, what happened instead was that Sony got smart, right? They were like, "Oh, look at what Nintendo's doing. Nintendo Directs are killing it, and everybody loves Nintendo Directs. They get to look forward to Nintendo Directs, and it's always like an event, and they have full control over what goes out. And so it just makes a whole lot more sense for Sony to be doing something like State of Play. This is their first one. We have no idea how long it's going to be, what they're going to cover, what's going on. But this is, I have a feeling that since they don't have to worry about like really investors and like, for one big E3 presentation, this is going to decide whether, people are like spending money with us. It's not like that. It's like these smaller little bits of information where they can spend time on indie games, which means they can spend time on PlayStation VR. Thank you, Mako XL. Very much appreciated the donation. So I really hope this comes together properly the way it's supposed to. Nothing ever does, right? I haven't done a oh geez, hi everybody. Geez, there's a lot of people hanging out. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. I'm trying to keep an eye on the State of Play page for YouTube over there, and we're gonna try to like do a little bit of everything at the same time. I ran into my first hurdle already. I don't know if anybody out there knows OBS and can help me like on the fly here, but I can't hear that video. For some reason, I know there's no sound happening right now on that video, but I can't hear it even when there is video running through OBS. I got my headphones on, but they're not connected to anything here in front of me. Instead, it's connected to my cell phone, which is ridiculous because I'm going to have to listen to the stream while you guys watch it so that we can all watch it together. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter because PlayStation VR, PSVR, and really, without parole, has always been about like working with what you got and taking all the duct tape you have lying around and all the loose wires and stitching it all together and trying to make a show out of it. We're not professionals. None of us here are professionals. If anybody's new to the channel, I'm not a professional. Des isn't a professional. Jeremy, definitely not a professional. The only person we really have working for us that like knows anything about video games is AJ Godcannon. He's the man. So make sure you give AJ a big hug and a kiss when he walks through the door. He's probably already here. He was probably here long before I was, because he's got his shit together, unlike me. Dave Station, OBS doesn't typically output any audio on its own as far as I know. Maybe put some earbuds from the laptop under your headset. No. It doesn't matter if they're no. These are the only headphones I need. I just need to hear. I don't need to hear anything else except for the stream, except for what Sony's putting out. And so, Solovision, I did a test. What do you guys want to watch? Here, let's watch something just to be totally sure. Give me 1 second here. I do want to make sure for you guys, 100%, that that everything's working properly. So let's make sure, just for the heck of it, that you guys can hear it. I can hear it on my cell phone. It's not going to be a problem. I've got that covered. But for next time around, I'd like to have that fixed so it's not so crazy. All right, let's watch something on Without Parole, just so I don't get in trouble by anyone else. Here, let's watch PSVR this week. Copy link address. Bring that over down to OBS. Okay, let's give this a shot. All right, and No sound. Oh no. All right, 1 second. Join Red, Chuck, Bomb, and the Blues to save the stolen eggs in Angry Birds VR. Explore the remote island where greedy green pigs take their vacation in 50-plus fun-filled levels. And
Very
more
exciting.
to come. Make your way up to Party City through exotic beaches, stiff cliffs, and snowy slopes, destroying their structures in the most spectacular way to earn those all-important stars. Use your slingshot with classic Angry Birds gameplay elements to progress and strive for the best possible score. Tough boss pigs, balloons, boulders, and fans make each level a challenging puzzle in its own right. And using the bird's special skills, like Chuck's super speed or Bomb's explosive power, will help you earn maximum points. All right, there we go. We're back up and running. Perfect. I'm really, really glad we did that test. That was a simple one. Luckily, over in OBS, there are different settings for like output and monitor and what you want to have going through the monitor and what you don't. And for whatever reason, the audio output the audio output capture for that. It'll allow you guys to hear it, but it still won't allow me to hear it. There's even an option for me to hear it in the monitor, and I don't exactly know what's going on there. It doesn't matter because I do have a way to do this. So we got 14 minutes. This is great. We're like ahead of schedule. I like that. Everything's awesome. I'm very, very happy to hear this. And Portal Player knows everything about PSVR 2. It's going to be amazing. It's wireless and it has new controllers. That's true. Darkwing Chuck Elgato Huego says, why are those birds so angry? I'll tell you why they're so angry, because I just played the entire game from start to finish in about under 2 hours. I've got a review coming out just after, like sometime later tonight. I will tell you, it's okay. It's Angry Birds in VR, and it's a lot of fun, and then it's like over, and you're like, oh, okay. So Angry Birds VR is good. I don't know if it's not great. It's good. If you're an Angry Birds player, if you like the idea of slingshotting birds, in all sorts of terrorism style into buildings and crashing them down, that sounded way worse than it was. I could probably put that in the review somewhere. Then it's going to be fun. Squash Pickle, I don't know, man. I don't know about a Blood and Truth release date. I think that when we dropped the news a couple days ago about May 29th being a possible release date, I think that's sounds right. The price sounds right. So I think that's going to be I think that's going to be a thing, right? The retailers got a little ahead of the message. Oh, hey, what happened? Ha! Nothing happened. Okay, we almost had something happen. Obviously, hey, what's up, John Riggs? Obviously, there's a ton of things that we want announced. There's a ton of things that we can't wait to see. My guess is that they're going to re-reveal Golem. My guess is that they're going to is Jeremy going to be on tonight? Robert Sullivan, Jeremy. No. Yes. What day is today? Monday? I never know what day today is. You guys always see me for the most part like on something pre-recorded, and so I usually and so it's all pre-scheduled. I never know what actual day of the week it is until something comes up, and now that it's Monday. Yes, Jeremy is streaming Resident Evil 7 tonight. I thought you meant, is he going to be here with me? Unfortunately, as everything is last minute, he's not able to be here. I also didn't ask him because I was like, man, it's just going to be too chaotic as it is. I didn't ask anyone to come over. So if you're like, oh, why is Bryan all by himself? It's because I didn't ask anybody. I didn't ask anybody to come over. All right, let me see if I can do a couple things here behind the scenes while you guys are hanging out and getting everything together. There we go. I've got State of Play here up on my phone. Good to go. So I'll be able to hear it, which is fantastic. You'll be able to hear it, which is even better. I think I would probably do this in silence and rely on you guys in the chat to send me messages. I'd have to turn slow mode off, and you guys would just have to send me messages about what's happening. I'm like, I see the pictures. What's happening? Oh, Tim Webb. Bryan's all by himself because he's so lonely. So you guys can all come over. I'll leave the door unlocked. Just bring pizza and coffee. That's all I need. And snuggles. Definitely need snuggles. Johnny Mentology. I heard that emoji in the Discord was all your fault. I'm on to you, man. I'm on to you. All right? We know what you're up to. All right. Dude, Aceville saying what the Farpoint team is up to, what Impulse Gear is up to would be amazing. I honestly think hearing about Farpoint 2 or whatever Impulse Gear is up to would be like one of those like fucking monumental moments. Because I mean, Farpoint was such a good game, but like from a game design standpoint, like it definitely could use some work. And to be able to say, hey, we've got this graphics engine, we've got this aim support, we've got all this stuff that works really, really well, but we've like kind of like learned how to make a really good game over the last couple of years, and then we added jetpacks. And now the game's fucking awesome. And here's Farpoint 2, and it's set on Earth, and we're gonna take down San Francisco. It's crazy. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? It's like the possibilities are endless. That team is ridiculously talented, and I am super duper happy. Crap, I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. Thank you, Mako XL, for a second donation. Really appreciate that. He says, donate, folks, and I have to agree. Donate, then I can buy pizza. No, all we ask is that you guys hang out and that you have fun and that you're part of the chat and everyone has a good time. Is not required that you spend money with us. I'm just happy that you're all here in this big giant Snorgy. Man, oh man, I'm like actually getting nervous. 9 minutes until the show starts. Johnny, I've got your number, man. I've totally got your number. Yeah, I'm actually on the official PlayStation page as well. Gecko Man 11, the Game Cat, and I'm definitely watching all these messages go by like nonstop. It's insane. I'm gonna hide that one, bearded one. So anyway, yeah, make sure you guys, Rhodey's on top of this shit. Make sure you make sure you join us over there on the Discord server. I try to hang out everywhere that I can on Facebook in the communities, on Discord, in the comment section. But man, like I'm really busy all the time, and so if you ever want to talk to the crew or anything, I think Discord is absolutely the best way to do it. A Hobbit says Patreon people, and I totally agree. Patreon.com/withoutparole games. Make sure you hit us up over there for $1 or more every month. Who asked about the Beer Steve? What's up, Hugo? He asked about the Beat Saber DLC. That was awesome, man. Honestly, Jesus, those sirens are loud today. Honestly, I love Beat Saber. In the Beat Saber genre of music as a whole, like, doesn't really speak to me, but some of those original songs by Yaroslav Beck were like awesome, like they're just like grindy and real like fucking wobbly, man, and I love that shit. When it comes to dubstep, I like my wobbles, but like it wasn't like enough, especially this new batch of Monster Cat music stuff. It didn't have enough of an edge. I know Overkill was like bordering on metal or whatever, but it just wasn't enough. Still great to have a ton of new songs to play. I'm really curious to see what they do for the next couple batches of DLC, because they're talking about branching out and doing other styles of music, and they're talking about like K-pop and like doing all this stuff. It'd be fucking amazing if it was K-pop or J-pop or like rock or grunge. I'd love to see what else they can do. Trying to like keep up with this. Dead Winter, I would give everything that I have to get BioShock in VR. I'm totally right there with you. Mako XL, 36,000 subscribers. Yes, thank you very much. Who else we got here? Hakan Ludin. I'm really sorry if I mispronounced your name. We got Static is definitely one of the best PlayStation VR titles out there. Like, it's so wildly different than anything else that we have. There aren't enough other good games like that, like in the same genre. Like, there's games like Esper where you're like, oh, cool, I'm manipulating this and that, whatever. It's cool, but Static really does something different, especially with the DualShock and like feeling like your hands are trapped in that box. So basically, after we talked to Tarsier, they were saying, we can't tell you what we're working on next. So I really hope that there's they basically said no DLC for Static, but who knows? Hopefully whatever they've got in the future is PlayStation VR relatable, compatible, somethingable. What's up, Thomas Hewitt? Long time no see. It's good seeing you again. You guys playing rock, paper, scissors, slap in the comments. I like it. Sequel for Boxing Apocalypse. How about we just never hear from that team ever again? There are sometimes I'm always on the side of developers. Always on the side of consumers. But when it comes down to trusting that somebody has the right vision in mind, I put trust in developers. And the story we got about Boxing Apocalypse was that this guy's a fucking shysters, man, scams. So I'm going to keep an eye on them and make sure that we know what they're doing next so we don't buy it. Man, I feel like I've been talking nonstop. I want to give someone else a chance to talk, but there's no one else here. God damn it, where's Michelle? Oh, man. What am I hoping to see today? Obviously, this is going to be a lot of non-VR stuff, so I'm bracing for impact on that. I know it's not going to be like, and here's 30 minutes of new VR stuff. I'd be like, what the fuck? But I think what's going to happen more than anything would be, I think what's going to happen is that we'll maybe see Star Child again. Because Star Child has had this, it sounds like such a sordid, troubled history, right? It was canceled, and then no, it wasn't canceled, and whatever, and we haven't seen anything since the demo that came out a year ago. It seems really strange that would be something we don't hear about. Just to kind of set the record straight on some sort of official channel. PlayStation has been very, very quiet, or Sony's been very quiet about a bunch of games, and Golem being one, and Star Child being another one, and it's time for them, Blood and Truth, to get the official word. I think we're going to hear announcements about all three of those. For the most part, I bet we get prices and release dates and maybe a small bit of new footage. I don't think we're going to see a ton of PlayStation VR stuff, but I really do think that we're going to see more PlayStation VR stuff than say if it was say an E3 or something, A Hobbit, Mama Cat, don't frown when you say Mama Cat, man, because Michelle is doing great. I worked with her at the restaurant on Saturday. She looks good and she feels good, and she's very busy, and she's raising an awesome kid, and she's in school and working, and she's just absolutely killing it with life, which means no time for Without Parole. But maybe one of these days she'll be able to do it again. Massimo Giordani, thank you so much for the donation, man. You should take advantage of donations because it's your platform, man. I'll read whatever you fucking write there. But thank you so much. I really, really appreciate everyone's help. So, man, I'm 3 minutes. D-Ray86 said, I heard we won't be disappointed, so I'm expecting big news. I want to know who you know. Because I don't know what to expect. I wish I knew who you knew, so I knew what to expect. Craziness. Let's see here. Can I go into this? So what do you guys want to do when this thing drops? I think what I might do is here. You know what? Let's do something real quick here. Duplicate this window. Yep. Yep. Okay. So when this goes live in just 2 minutes, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go full screen, and only during boring PlayStation 4 parts will I jump back out and have this whole setup going again, because I really. Obviously, I want when PSVR stuff comes up, I want to go full screen, and I want to have the focus on on that stuff, and not me and not the chat, and make sure that that the right stuff is being focused on. So let me see if I can get that done right. Oh, fixing shit on the fly, fixing shit on the fly. This is why my music career never took off. Okay, cool. All right, I think we're good. All right. Yes, Dan Kiefer, No Man's Sky VR would be amazing, but the problem is I think they've made a bunch of announcements. Scott Merrill, thank you so much. Thanks for all the great content. Brian, thank you for all the great donations. Scott, especially when Amanda's streaming, I'm glad it doesn't just take a bunch of swears for you to contribute. But Dan, I think the problem is that Dan said No Man's Sky VR. They made so many announcements recently, and you would have thought that VR support would have been one of those announcements. Man, Mako XL, killing it with the donations. That's like your third donation. I really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. McConnors, can we get to 350? What do we do? What's 350? Yeah, sorry about the singing. Trey VR says, have you heard about the Oculus Quest? We have. I don't have an opinion on Oculus Quest because, obviously we're a PlayStation VR channel. I think competition is amazing. And I think every single thing that comes out VR related over the next couple of years is just going to push PlayStation VR forward. So competition is awesome. PSVR is obviously killing it. The leader in the market by a huge margin. Here we go, guys. Let's get this thing going.
Morning, sir. Our travel time to Shanghai. Morning, sir.
It's 11 hours, 15 minutes.
It's
11 hours,
Told you we should have taken the
minutes.
faster flight. Told you we should have taken the faster flight.
I think the board prefers you wear a more
Conventional suit to these company meetings.
You can't remember your past.
Friday, tell me I didn't just imagine that.
Negative, sir. Sir, incoming!
A little late, don't you think? Friday, suit up, now!
Negative, sir. Sir, incoming!
A little late, don't you think? Friday, suit up, now!
All systems online. Sir, hostiles inbound, 10 o'clock.
So much for a hero's welcome. Any idea who we're up against?
You've made your share of enemies, sir. I'll need more time. Above you. All systems online.
That's how it's done.
Threat neutralized.
That's how it's done. Good. I have a
Threat
plane to catch.
neutralized.
Good. I have a plane to catch.
Welcome to State of Play, a look ahead to the future of PlayStation. State of Play, a look ahead to the future of PlayStation. Will showcase upcoming games, throughout the year. Updates and State of Play will showcase upcoming games. We've got plenty in store for our first episode, like the debut of Marvel's Iron Man VR, like the debut of Marvel's VR in 2019, which is coming to PlayStation VR in 2019. Developer Camouflage and Marvel games. Developer Camouflage and Marvel games. Up next, a fan favorite announces extra goodies for PS4 players. A fan favorite announces extra goodies for PS4 players. Let's take a look. The popular kart racer is due out June 21st. Now, let's shift gears. Next up, the team at Hello Games beams us an update from the world of No Man's Sky. It's a match made in heaven. This summer, Hello Games plans to release No Man's Sky Beyond, a major update that
Holy
adds,
fuck!
you guessed it, PlayStation VR support.
And
yep,
free!
The update will be free.
What the fuck?
Now let's get the world's first look at an upcoming game from PlayStation's worldwide studios and developer Robot Entertainment. You're seeing first gameplay of Ready Set Heroes. This is a fast-paced multiplayer dungeon crawler that packs a big twist. Choose from multiple playable characters, then launch into a randomly chosen dungeon to slay monsters, dodge traps, and collect mountains of loot. Now, here's the twist. You're actually competing against an opposing team who's racing through an identical dungeon. Reaching the end of the dungeon will trigger a winner-take-all arena brawl. The faster you progress through the dungeon, the more powerful you'll be when it's time to throw down. Ready Set Heroes had us hooked from the moment we picked up the controller. The combat feels crunchy and the loot flows like water. The final game is expected to support up to 4 players across online multiplayer and local split screen. Sounds like perfect party game material. Look for Ready Set Heroes to hit PS4 later this year. Next, let's get an update on the eagerly awaited PlayStation VR game first announced at Paris Games Week.
Bryan Marks. SAS Nomad Squadron. You're facing multiple life sentences.
Another good one.
Arson. More murders than we could even count. I just want to know what went down.
My name is Ryan Marks. I'm a soldier. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my day job. But it's always nice to come home. Spend some time with the family. Mum!
Oh, for God's sake, what did I tell you?
See some culture.
Nice use of that Special Forces stealth there, mate.
Taking the sights.
Let's get inside, find out what it's hiding.
Catch up with some old friends.
Think of it as a merger. Apart from you. You can f off back to the army.
Is that it?
I think I broke a window.
Tony's been approaching some of our people.
What are we looking for there? Clues, evidence, anything that will tell us what Tony's up to. Got it.
We need to push back hard or we're finished. Are you sure about this?
Get me underneath! Closer! Closer!
Average weekend, really.
PlayStation VR heavyweight Blood and Truth finally has a confirmed release date, May 28th. That's just around the corner. In fact, PlayStation VR players have a lot to get excited about this year. Here's a look at the next wave of PlayStation VR titles slated for 2019.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the right place. Bring your friends.
Amazing.
Bring your friends.
great human resource.
Okay.
That was incredible.
That's audio at least.
Incredible.
Almost there. Just a sec. There we go. Looking good, Sam. Sam, give me a systems diagnostic. I need to know what is going on. I need the crew.
I know you're all afraid of what is happening. To the station. To us.
Captain.
And quite right too.
Oh my god.
And I just want you to know. Whatever happens next.
Sam?
Sorry.
Could it be the station?
It's time. You have to take us there.
Science fiction thriller Observation is coming soon to PS4, and it's bringing some serious development talent to its unusual and haunting premise. Our next game is a frightening new installment in a fan favorite series.
Is this Five Nights at Freddy's? It is. Is this the VR version?
Here's some first footage. You'll try to survive different levels from the original games, as well as all new nightmares.
Right? Okay. So just be aware, the characters do tend
has picked up some unwanted friends. To clear the infestation, apply the Fazbear Entertainment restaurant.
Five Nights at Freddy's VR, Help Wanted, is the first virtual reality game in the Five Nights universe, and it's coming to PlayStation VR this spring. Next, let's get a new look at a gorgeous adventure coming soon to PS4 from PlayStation's Worldwide Studios.
Oh, what's this? Your little coloring book?
Give me that.
Hello?
You're alive? Hey, over here.
You want me to do that? To paint this whole town back to life.
running free.
If I leave now, that darkness will just come back here. I can't let that happen.
Concrete Genie is a creative new adventure from developer Pixel Opus. And today, we can also confirm the game will feature a PlayStation VR mode. More details to come as Concrete Genie prepares for launch later this year. Up next, an update from the dangerous world of Days Gone.
You know, we never talked about it while we still wore the colors. All this time out in the freak show when shit like this didn't matter anymore. When we wrote out a farewell without Sarah, I knew that we were leaving everything behind.
What did you do?
Everything that mattered was gone.
Folks here in a lot of pain, Deke. You find his stash. You bring it to me. To me, Deke. You do that, we'll see what we can do for you.
Deke, bro. And I know what kind of man he is. What he's done. He done any worse than you? Ricky? How about me?
You're afraid to be here. You're afraid to be a part of something. We need you here, and that scares the hell out of you. We have to look out for each other. That is all we got.
You could have saved a few lives.
There was no hope, there was no time, there was no room, okay? We'd already turned on each other by the time the hordes arrived.
Hope you're right about your old lady, Deke. Gotta ask you something. What does it matter if everyone else is dead?
Days Gone is just 1 month away, so let's take a peek at some new gameplay. Days Gone is set in a harsh and unforgiving world populated by roving bandits and flesh-eating freakers. As bounty hunter Deacon St. John,
all right, you guys, what do you think so far? It's been pretty fucking incredible for PlayStation VR content. I think that the PS4 stuff, I think we're going to see a lot of. I'm very curious to know about Concrete Genie's VR mode. They said we'd heard that there might be VR support, but VR mode could be anything. So I'm very curious to know what that means. Five Nights at Freddy's Vacation Simulator. We got dates for Vacation Simulator. Everybody's Golf, Trevor Saves the Universe, Falcon Age, Jupiter and Mars. I mean, and they're all coming soon, like literally in the next couple months, which is insane. So far they're killing it. And No Man's Sky, man, I think is like just like the greatest announcement that we could have possibly gotten. So I don't know. So far, so good. This is they're kind of killing it right out of the gate. I'm a little curious to know. It's like, did they just do PlayStation VR? Did they front load PlayStation VR for this whole thing, or is there more to come? Like, was that just like the primer? Days Gone looks like a lot of fun, man, but without VR support, I'm gonna have to skip it, unfortunately. Mick Ladd, the Game Cat, thank you so much for the donation. He says, "Get a pizza on me, Brian. Can't wait for you to jack your job and work full-time on the channel. Awesome you are doing Five Nights at Freddy's. My kids will love that." I agree. My kids will also love Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't have kids, but if I did, they'd love it, and I'm going to love it. That's all that matters. Man, so what are the highlights so far? I mean, obviously, No Man's Sky. Did you guys see? I was trying to adjust the audio at the very beginning, so I didn't see the Crash Team Racing announcement. What was that for? Was that for a new Crash Racing game, or was there VR mentioned in that? Was that whole segment VR? I missed something. So if somebody could help me out in the comments and let me know what was the deal with the Crash Racing game, I would be very, very appreciative, because I totally missed that while I was fixing the audio. Yeah, Burbercat, I imagine if they made the announcement the way they did with No Man's Sky, that it's going to be the full game. I can't imagine having a mode for No Man's Sky. It's going to be awesome. So was this just the first time we heard about Crash Team Racing? Did they just announce that? Why do I feel like they already announced that? I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm just losing my mind. Crash Team Racing was definitely one of the best kart racing games back in the day. I'm going to switch the volume just for a second here.
Film is promising more updates before launch on April 23rd. Well, that's a wrap on our very first episode of State of Play. This was just the beginning. We'll be back throughout the year to share new announcements, first look trailers, and other updates from the world of PlayStation. See you soon, and thanks for watching.
That was, I mean, okay, so we've got an idea of what State of Play is all about, right? So State of Play, we weren't sure what to expect. We were like, is this going to be, it's going to be 20 minutes, it's going to be an hour, it's going to be 90 minutes, it's going to be like their new E3 every few months. We had no idea what to expect, but I think this is perfect for them because now they get to announce what they want, when they want, and there's no oh my God, we're gonna have to spend millions and millions and millions of dollars to like get the information out there at this big conference. Yeah, I don't know. Portal Player asks a good question. He says, I wonder if Iron Man VR is a full game or just another Batman Arkham experience. I'll say if it's as good as Batman Arkham, then I'm totally down. But if it's something like the Justice League VR experience, which was kind of garbage, I'd rather pass on that completely. Let's scan through. Yeah, Sean Ortiz missed the announcement. Yeah, they kind of killed it. Like I said, right out of the gate with No Man's Sky VR announcement, and they said 2019, right? I was trying to keep up with the announcements, and I couldn't even keep up with them. I'm writing down release dates. I'm writing down names of games, and it's just like it was crazy. And we knew that things like Falcon Age were coming this year. And when I talked to Eka on the developer interview, he was saying spring, but man, it's literally coming in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So it's right around the corner. January, February, March, April 9th. That's insane. Jupiter and Mars coming it's like coming 3 days later on the 22nd next month, April. But in truth, the information we had was a day off, so it's actually coming May 28th. Iron Man VR, No Man's Sky, Everybody's Golf. I didn't get the release date on Everybody's Golf, but that was also in January, February, March, April. This is how I have to count months. This is what I do. I count on my hand. So I think that was coming in May. Did anyone get release dates on that? Everybody's Golf in May. Table of Tales. That's the game right there. What are we doing here on the? I got to get rid of this menu, this browser here. There we go. There we go. I'm going to make sure I don't get any copyright strikes from other YouTubers. I think that was like Angry Video Game Nerd or something. I think I've already watched that episode. So Table of Tales is coming, and all these, and Everybody's Golf is like something I'm like ridiculously excited for. It's coming in May. I think that's what they said. If anybody had a release date, that's phenomenal. I don't even know what to say. Let's see. What does Sierra say? Sierra dropping the huge bomb with the tip. Thank you so much. She says, Sierra says, I'm so happy I saw these announcements. Been behind watching your streaming, and I'm sorry. Thanks for doing this. All of your work, actually. Treat yourself for your hard work. Have a lovely day. Sorry, Sierra. I'm a horrible reader, but thank you so much for the kind message and the donation. Really, really appreciate it. 20 minutes. Now we know what to expect from State of Play. Now we know that these are just going to be like short little pieces of information. But man, that was like jam packed. I could have gone without the Days Gone stuff, but I mean, the release is right around the corner. So obviously they're trying to push that game as much as they can. But to be able to pack in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 PlayStation VR games. Actually, it was even more than 10. It was like at least 11 or 12, but just 2 didn't really have any new information. To pack in 10 with some sort of new information, with release dates, that kind of stuff, it was, I mean, absolutely ridiculous that they were able to do this for us. This is better than E3. This is better than a PlayStation experience, especially if they're going to do this like 3, maybe 4 times throughout the course of the year. I think this is... Yes, thank you. Lou said Concrete Genie said it will have VR support as well, but that was the VR mode. That is very nebulous. Whenever somebody says VR mode, if you remember back to like, early PlayStation VR days, mode didn't mean full game. Mode meant, hey, here's a dressing room mode. We're still getting those games. Persona 5 Dancing has a dressing room mode. There's the Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball dressing room mode, or kind of pervy on the beach VR mode. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty awesome. Yeah, basketball. So I know the chat's delayed, so I apologize if anybody's just repeating things that before I had a chance to address it. Everybody's Golf is going to be amazing. That is one of my, I think Falcon Age and Everybody's Golf are probably my 2 most anticipated PlayStation VR games of the year. But now that No Man's Sky is like a legit, actual, real thing, yeah, McConnor says Tekken VR. Yeah, thank you. That was a joke, right? It's like we took the time and modeled all of these characters in VR and made them playable against each other, and everything works except, you don't get any backgrounds and your health bars are useless. It's just a practice mode. You're like, just give us a mode. Let us fight. Like, let us play the game in VR. What's the problem? And it was just awful as a mode. Horrible mode. Ace Combat. Ace Combat is like almost like a demo, It's like it's such a bigger chunk, but still a VR mode. It's not the full game. And I'm scared I'm scared what that means for Concrete Genie, in other words. That's all I'm trying to say. But I am still very, very excited for all of these games. Yeah, Kevgrat asked a good question. He said, how do they lock the frame rate on No Man's Sky? I'll tell you, man, like, No Man's Sky was not like a visually, taxing game. Like, I think a bigger studio, someone bigger than Hello Games could have easily been brought in and been like, okay, here's how to take your big open world game that has like not a lot going on, and here's how to render it, in 1080p with 60 frames a second. But I just don't think Hello Games, especially at launch, was capable of that kind of thing. Their reach definitely exceeded their grasp. So, luckily though, obviously Sony's been backing Hello Games for a while. They've been very much in support of like Hello Games, like doing this thing. So maybe they've had help from other teams and maybe getting it, running and faster and up to the specs of VR. I'm very, very curious to see how that goes. I think it's gonna be awesome. Madman in Black the Game Cat, all the Game Cats, Rhett the Game Cat, Mikey Sensei, Game Cat Extraordinaire, okay, Magic the Game Cat. You guys have all been awesome in the chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for sharing what I consider like these are the most special days in the world to me, right? It's like my birthday comes and goes and I just go, whatever, right? Christmas comes and goes and I go, whatever, good to see the family. Hey, how you doing? But like these days, like E3 used to be my Super Bowl, right? I don't care about football. I care about E3. And I used to like take the day off from work, and when I was drinking, did I ever drink? And there'd be like 3 pizzas stacked up high, like ready for the show. Here we go. I remember crying. Oh God, this is a horrible story. We'll talk about it some other time. Maybe I'll make a Litterbox episode. It's not the time right now, Brian. But the point is that these days are special to me, and to be able to share them with you and to be able to watch them together makes them even more special, because we are PlayStation VR without Parole. That's what we do, and that's what you guys do. That's what the Game Cats are all about. So thank you very, very much. It's been a really exciting 20 minutes. The pre-show and the post-show were twice as long as the actual show, but you know what? Thanks for dealing with my technical hurdles, and thank you for helping me through my technical hurdles. Next time, I'm sure it'll be hopefully a lot more seamless. All right, you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you tomorrow on the Gamescast Live, and then on Viewer Takeover, and on every single fucking show that we do on this channel. I've got to put together a breaking news report for all this stuff. I've got a ton of reviews coming out over the next couple of days. AJ's on a big one. I'm on a couple smaller ones. Des is probably doing something. Thank you guys again. Thank you for all donations. Thank you for hanging out. I love you all. And I forgot how to stop the stream. Yep. There it is. Bye, guys.